Welcome back to Old Charles everyone. Today we are talking about one specific coin that causes more confusion than almost any other in United States history, the 1965 United States dime. We get countless questions about this every single week, people finding these in change in old jars inherited from grandparents, asking one thing: what is the value of a 1965 dime? So today we are doing a deep dive, a very long and detailed look at the 1965 dime, its history, its composition, its varieties, and its actual market value. I must stress this up front because it is crucial. The vast majority of 1965 dimes are worth exactly 10 cents, but there are extremely rare exceptions, and we will get to those, so please watch this entire script to understand exactly what you have. First, we need the essential historical context. 1965 was a year of monumental change in United States coinage. Prior to 1965, dimes, quarters, and half dollars were struck in a 90% silver composition, but due to rising silver prices and coin hoarding, the United States Mint was forced to change the metal content of our coins. This led to the Coinage Act of 1965, which eliminated silver from most circulating coinage. For dimes and quarters, the new composition became a clad metal structure, a core of pure copper sandwiched between outer layers of a copper-nickel alloy. This means the typical 1965 dime has no silver content. It is often called a clad dime. Now here is a critical point: the Mint made this change in mid-1965, but they did not immediately change the mint marks. All dimes, quarters, and half dollars struck in 1965 and 1966 were produced without mint marks, regardless of whether they were made at the Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco mints. This was a deliberate move to discourage collectors and speculators from hoarding the new coins. So if you have a 1965 dime, it will not have a D or an S mint mark on it. It will appear to be from Philadelphia, even if it wasn't. This is normal for all 1965 dimes. So let's talk about the billion-dollar question: what is the value of a 1965 dime? For the overwhelming majority of these coins, the value is face value, 10 cents. It is a common circulated coin with over 1.6 billion dimes struck for circulation in 1965 alone. You can still find them in your change today. They are not rare, they are not silver. They are extremely common. However, value is always conditioned on two key factors: the coin's condition or grade and any possible errors or varieties. Starting with condition, a worn 1965 dime showing significant circulation has no premium. A dime in average circulated condition is worth 10 cents. If you have one in extremely nice uncirculated condition, perhaps it has full luster, no or sharp details, then it might have a small collector premium, maybe 25 cents to $1 for a really superb example, but it is still a modern common coin in a high grade, so no fortunes there. Now we move to the area where people get excited: errors and varieties. There are two famous and exceptionally rare stories attached to the 1965 dime. The first is the 1965 silver dime rumor. Yes, there is a persistent rumor that a very small number of 1965 dimes were struck on the old 90% silver planchets by mistake. These would be transitional errors. The Mint was switching over equipment, and it is theoretically possible that a silver blank from 1964 or earlier got mixed in and was struck with 1965 dies. However, to this day, not a single genuine 1965 silver dime has been authenticated by major grading services like PCGS or NGC. There are stories and urban legends, but no confirmed specimens. If one were to exist, it would be worth a fortune, likely tens of thousands of dollars or more, but again, none are known to be real. So if you think you have one, it is almost certainly a plated coin or a forgery. The second and very real rarity is the 1965 double die obverse dime. This is a genuine variety caused by a doubling in the die creation process. It shows clear doubling, particularly visible on the inscriptions like "In God We Trust" and "Liberty," and the date. It is a known variety, but it is extremely rare and valuable in any condition. A low-grade circulated example of the 1965 double die dime can be worth over $1,000. A nice uncirculated example can be worth several $1,000s. How do you identify it? You need a good magnifying loupe or microscope. Look at the date and the words. The doubling is distinct and mechanical, not to be confused with machine doubling or die deterioration, which is common and adds no value. Another possibility is off-metal errors, like a 1965 dime struck on a copper penny planchet. These are also extremely rare and valuable, but they are unique oddities, not something you are likely to find. So let me be perfectly clear: when you find a 1965 dime in your pocket, the odds are astronomically high that you have a common copper-nickel clad dime worth 10 cents. The chance of it being a double die is like winning a very small lottery. The chance of it being a silver dime is like winning the Powerball twice in a row. How can you check your own coin? First, get a magnet. The copper-nickel clad dime is not magnetic. If it sticks Strongly, it is not a genuine dime, likely a foreign coin or token. Second, listen to the sound, drop it on a table, it should have a dull thud, not the bright ring of silver, but sound can be deceptive. Third, and most reliably, weigh it. A clad 1965 dime should weigh 2.27 grams. A silver dime from 1964 or earlier weighs 2.5 grams. You need a precise scale for this. In summary, the value of a standard 1965 United States dime is 10 cents. It is a historic coin, as the first year of clad coinage, but its historic value does not translate to high monetary value for the ordinary piece. If you think you have something special like a possible double die, please have it examined by a reputable coin dealer or submit it to a grading service for authentication. Do not get swept away by online listings or videos claiming huge value for ordinary 1965 dimes. They are referring to the extreme rarities, not the coin in your hand. At its core, history is an act of both preservation and interpretation. It begins with evidence. Primary sources like letters, legal documents, artifacts, eyewitness accounts, and archaeological remains. Historians then critically examine these traces, cross-reference them, and construct narratives to explain what happened and why. This means history is not static, it is constantly being revised as new evidence emerges or as scholars ask new questions from different perspectives: social, economic, cultural, environmental. Point 1. Identity and memory. History tells communities, nations, and cultures where they came from. It shapes collective identity, providing a sense of belonging and continuity. It also involves the crucial duty of memory, ensuring that both glories and atrocities are not forgotten. Point 2. Understanding the present. We cannot comprehend the modern world, its political borders, social structures, economic systems, and cultural tensions, without understanding the historical processes that created them. The present is a product of the past. A tool for critical thinking. Studying history trains the mind to evaluate evidence, assess conflicting interpretations, understand context, and construct logical arguments. It teaches skepticism of simple answers and an appreciation for complexity. Point 4. A guide, not a blueprint, for the future. While history never repeats itself exactly, patterns often rhyme. Understanding past crises, technological shifts, and societal transformations can provide invaluable perspective when facing contemporary challenges. It is a warning against human folly and a testament to human resilience. History is fraught with challenges. The record is always incomplete, biased towards the literate and powerful. The saying, "History is written by the victors," highlights the problem of perspective. Modern historians strive to be as objective as possible, but the selection of topics and interpretation of facts are inherently influenced by the historian's own context. This leads to history wars, debates over how the past should be taught and remembered, as seen in conflicts over colonial legacies, slavery, and national narratives. These debates show that history is not just about the past, it is a crucial battleground for defining values and priorities in the present.